the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. Well, who am I? Sure enough. Who am I? Sure enough. I can't hear you. Sure enough. Sure enough. Sugar. Sugar.
Yeah, we the meanest.
I can't hear you. Sugar.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We back at it once again. What's going on, everybody? It's J-Pad the Juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? I got LB in the building with me, and we are the AM Kings. This is the AM Kings show. Like, subscribe, share, YouTube, Facebook family. What's going on? Happy Monday. This is the last day of March. It felt like March lasted almost like a year, but this is the last day of March. It was so much that went on in March, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nonetheless, we're getting ready to jump upon another month. You know what I'm saying? We up in the building every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, YouTube, Facebook. Make sure you liking, subscribing, and once again sharing the show. 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Eastern Standard Time. It's the AM Kings show. What up, L? What's going on with you, brother?
Not much, man. Just chilling. Waking up a little late today. I wanted to sleep in, but you know, business as usual. So
Yes,
what's
indeed. Yes,
going on, Big Mike? I hear
indeed.
you. I see you in the corner.
Not much, brother. Just been staying busy, staying active. You know what I'm saying? Like, big shout out to everybody. Um, making it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like all kind of different types of things. I'm getting these inboxes and all that stuff. Let me get them in the mix here.
In the.
In there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we up at it. You know what I'm saying? But no, things have been going well, L. Just staying active, man. Really been getting into this film scoring thing. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Steelers Nation. You already know what it is. We up in
Big
this
Mike.
joint. You feel me? Yeah, though. You know what I'm saying? Keep it right, keep it tight. You know what I mean? But yeah, things have been going well with it, man. Been really getting in and digging in with this the scoring stuff. You know what I'm saying? Getting into this film scoring. Big shout out to Lay. Big shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Rough Bone. Blam Wrestling will be at you very, very soon. Mo, what's going on? Checking in. Mo Tillis, my man Mo. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure it do what it do.
What up, though?
Hell yeah. What's going on? Oh yeah. Yeah, been heard about it. You know what I'm saying? To be brutally honest with you, man, Trump trying to find a way to seek a third term in office. Oh yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You already know this is just what he is about. He's trying to rewrite history, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? And swing a whole bunch of things into his favor. That's just basically what he's here for. I tell people all the time, do not be misconstrued. Trump is not a politician. He is not a politician. He's a businessman. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why when you see him in all these meetings and stuff now, he's surrounded by his people. You know what I'm saying? Those people have the political tie and the political juice, and he has the money, he has the backing, he has the influence. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? People got to realize the president really, he has some power, but he ain't the most powerful person in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that he has to answer to. So y'all just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? When you looking at what they say, Trump said this and Trump said that and this, that, and the third, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep that in mind. There is definitely more going on behind the surface, and you got to see the players that are around him, because they're not going to put that in your face. They're just going to say Trump said. They're just going to say Trump said. They're not going to talk about what's going on in the DOGE. They're not going to talk about this ICE stuff. They're not going to talk about who's running those departments. You know what I'm saying? You got to be aware of those people as well. You can't just be aware of what Trump's doing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind. There's going to be a lot more stuff that's going on where Trump says he wants this and he wants that and he wants this, that, and the third. So just keep your eyes open, chat. You know what I'm saying? But most definitely. Oh yeah, he's a bad businessman for sure. He has no clue what he's doing. That's why all of those people that you see around him, look at their resume. That's the reason why they're around. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to keep it transparent with y'all and let y'all know that, you know what I'm saying, Trump is somebody that's going to stay in the news. He's going to stay in the front of the news. And you just got to be open to understanding what's really, really going on. And the funny thing is we weren't even going to talk about him today, but I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because we all can share in that sentiment. I think at this point we've talked about him enough on the show to the point where we could dedicate a show that's not really featuring him, but
that's the reason.
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit. It's early, L. It's early, man.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it all together, brother.
Yeah, you trying to get it all together?
I'm trying to get it all together.
Yeah, Smoke and Mirrors, Steelers Nation. You already know what it is, man. Appreciate you for this input and this insight this morning. You know what I mean? And everybody that's tapping in right now to the AM show. Once again, like, subscribe, share. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all stay locked in, because we are going to be locked in right with y'all, and we can discuss anything that y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Chat, it's okay sometimes if you want to bring up a subject, ask us questions. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you some honest opinions and answers. You know what I'm saying? But what's your take on it, L, with this Trump thing? Because we talk about it all the time, but you know what I'm saying? It's not going to change much what we're saying. We keep telling y'all look past the surface. But L, man, break it down real fast.
I think it was all part of the plan when he come back in for this term right here. He had a plan of trying to do all the changes he's trying to make, and he's not going to be able to do it all in one term. So he's trying to set up so he can have two terms, so he can do everything that he got planned for. Because what he's trying to do is going to take more than one term to do. So I think he's trying to push two terms so he can try to get all that shit. So he can, because when he get done and he get out of office, everything's going to be changed. It ain't going to be like how you used to see it. I'm telling you right now. And you can see, so you already know it's going to be something.
Right on. Mellow Man, what's going on? The
Shout
PDC
out
is
to
in
the
the
game.
building.
What's up, gang?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
Here. Trying to find my
you
space
good?
over here.
That's all to the good, man. We gonna make sure that your space stay correct, brother. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and make sure that the Mellow Man gets the right kind of view here. Yes, sir.
Kaboom.
Yes, sir.
What's good? What's good, guys?
What's going on,
how's
bro?
the weekend, bro?
Man, we had a great weekend down here. Headed to the Final Four. Cougars facing Duke. That's gonna be woo. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Everybody stay locked in this Saturday coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the Final Four NCAA tournament. Houston facing Duke and Florida facing Auburn. You know what I'm saying? It should be a great what we call it's that kind of morning.
Gerard. Like that one hip hop album. Who is that? Is that the first side?
That was the Beastie Boys. But Drop was
No.
the song. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Produced by Jay Dilla. That is Drop. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
There we
indeed.
go.
Right. Just hit the mute real quick for me, P. You just
Gotcha.
Yeah, appreciate you. And yeah, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Once again, the AM Kings, like, subscribe, and share. We are all in the building. As you can see, Podge got the nostalgic hat on, you know what I'm saying? The flavor, cons, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Converse, kiss my Converse, like Show Nuff said, you know, all day, period. But yeah, we're gonna get into the rundown, fellas. Now that the P is here, we're gonna open up with some Oh, Steelers Nation said Duke all day. Well, we gonna see. We really gonna see what's going on with it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna the dub. You already know what it is. The Cougars is gonna face the Duke Blue Devils. So we're gonna see how it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Chat, chime in who you think's gonna win in the final four. But we're going to get into the rundown today, fellas. And we decided that we're going to focus more on the genre that we all know and love, which is hip hop. So we got to open up with some unfortunate news over the weekend. Rapper Young Scooter passes away on his 39th birthday, an Atlanta tragedy. Y'all have a listen real quick.
Fake rapper, welcome to my jug house. Do you really live that life you rapping about? I know you don't, so what the fuck you talking about? 36 O's and the bells coming cash out. I done seen a lot at them dirty pots. You know your shit gon' flop if you don't touch that block. Them Falcons flew in, you know they came and flop. Word on the street, these rappers ain't got no guap.
Okay, yeah, that's Young Scooter. For those who didn't know, he was affiliated with Free Bands and he was affiliated with 1017. And unfortunately, there was an incident that passed around on his birthday where he had gotten into a situation with the police and he was running from them. And as he was hopping fences trying to get away, he injured his leg, something severely, and it killed him. So that was an unfortunate situation. We want to send prayers out to his family, and we never want to hear about anybody, passing away in such tragic circumstances, especially on his birthday. It was his 39th birthday. We don't know what the circumstances were leading up to it clearly, but he had an altercation with the police. And there was a situation where he started to run and he was hopping fences and, unfortunately, he met his end tragically that way. And we don't like to glorify the negative of hip hop, but we will put it in for clarity and context so that way everybody understands that, choices that you make and decisions that you make are very important in this game. I know for a fact that, the reason why I've had longevity is because I've been able to stay out of the way with it and not really entertain a lot of the stuff, but we don't know what's going on in other people's lives, so we don't judge. You know what I mean? We don't know what the situation was leading up to that or any other situation for that matter. I mean, we can go on based off what we see on podcasts. We can go based off of what we see on this social media platform and formalize our own opinions. But rest in peace to Young Scooter. 39 is just way too young to be going. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna say RIP, prayers to his family. You know what I'm saying? What you hear about it, guys? L.
I didn't hear no more than what you just reported. RIP to him and his family. And that's about it. Short and sweet.
P.
For sure, the Atlanta family. Plenty of conspiracy theories. The cop shot him. Whatever. But there's a couple main veins in the leg. That down by the thigh. And down the middle of the thigh, a couple main veins, and you strike that vein, you'll bleed out immediately. You know what I'm saying? So um, rest well for the brother, and I don't know. We got to do better because I was in Atlanta, and not just to be throwing myself in there. I was in Atlanta last month, and I was having a discussion with my nephew, and he was talking about, lead them. That's what they do in Atlanta. They're going to lead you in a chase. It could be a child support warrant. You know what I mean? They're going to lead you in a chase. And my nephew, who shout out, was talking about he did like, and he came home, straightened himself out. But Atlanta police was behind us, and he was like, "Yeah, we got in a discussion about that particular issue." And he was like, "Just pull over, handle whatever you got to handle, and leave it at that." But sad situation.
Yeah, it's definitely a sad situation, and we just gonna say prayers once again to his family, and rest with God, young Scooter. Another notch on the wrong side of hip hop, where we have people senselessly dying. This is music. It was not intended for this to really be what it is when hip hop started, and we're going to go a little bit into context with that. But I think we should put that into context right now, fellas. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I pulled up a clip here. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop was forced. And I think this was a really important subject to bring about with this. John checking in. What's going on, John? Good morning. You already know what it is. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
you know what I'm saying? The chat's in the building. But yeah, we want to talk about this because how hip hop was forced. It says this is exactly how and why hip hop was created. The outcome of this is how many of us are still going to prison and more still glorifying the aftermath of it. So let's roll the clip and let's see what we got going on. Chris Hilton, you already know, checking in from the UK. You know what I'm saying? Hey, peace over the pond. You already know what it is. Let's go.
So in the 1970s, landlords was burning buildings in the South Bronx on purpose for profit and leaving 250,000 people displaced. Specifically, because most of the people couldn't pay their rent, landlords resorted to deliberately setting the buildings on fire for their insurance claim. Now, part of the reason the people couldn't pay rent is because of the difficulty of finding jobs and the system of redlining that had existed in the city since the 1930s. New York was also on the brink of bankruptcy. So with redlining, any neighborhood that had a 5 to 10% Black or Puerto Rican population was not eligible for loans, home insurance, or fire insurance. The media also heavily blamed Blacks and Puerto Ricans for burning their own houses for welfare money.
And then the people themselves wind up doing it because they get relocated. They get welfare money better.
Meanwhile, 80% of the housing stock was destroyed, and about 40 fires were happening a night.
A staggering. New York has more fires than Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia put together. The New York Fire Department responds to nearly 250,000 calls a year, 3 times as many as the London Fire Brigade.
Urban renewal, which James Baldwin called Negro removal, also affected the South Bronx, where over 100,000 homes were demolished and the people displaced. The federal government a few years earlier abandoned its public housing program. The Nixon administration had ordered a suspension. So HUD worked on a new program that was first considered in the early 40s. This program came to be known as Section 8. And from that point on into the mid-80s, if a vacant building was not in the pipeline for renewal through this federal program, it was scheduled for demolition. It is within this context that Banana Kelly was born.
Banana Kelly's idea or purpose in organizing has been to try and save our neighborhood. Save it in a way in which the people that live here will somehow be able to control their housing stock.
Officially incorporated in February of 1978, this group of neighbors chose to protect their piece of the South Bronx from the extensive burnings and abandonment on Kelly's Street curving block. That's why they named the Banana Kelly's, kind of shaped like that. They applied for a rehab loan for 3 abandoned buildings. So while they waited, the people started rebuilding the boarded up apartments with their bare hands. In 1977, they formed themselves into the Banana Kelly Community Improvement Association. In 1978, Banana Kelly started the process of rehabbing 3 buildings through what they called sweat equity. The brothers and sisters literally put their hands to the plow and worked together to rehab these buildings. So in the 1970s, landlords was burning buildings.
Okay. Okay. So now you guys understand in context a lot better where hip hop came from. There was we talked about this last week, fellas. We talked about redlining. We talked about those type of situations that kind of like when we were talking about uh you know uh the black versus white diaspora with that. You know what I'm saying? Um urban urban decay, you know what I'm saying, white flight. And this was one of the regions where it was really prominent. Was really prominent in the South Bronx in the 70s. You know, we all know 1973 is the mark of the year when hip hop first started, but all of these dynamics were going on, redlining, things of that nature, houses being burned. You know, as you can see in the video, it was really like it looked like a third world country in the South Bronx. You know, it was really crazy. And for a positive outlet is where hip hop got its start. And we all know that that's exactly what it was there for. It was supposed to be an outlet for oppression, an outlet for, things that were going on where people were suppressed and oppressed. And it was a message to kind of like unify. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop was about unity, is at its core. You know what I'm saying? Which is really a crazy dynamic because when you see hip hop today, the unity factor of it has been severely hit with a strong blow. And just wanted to put that into context. Fellas, y'all can fire away at this. L, let me know what you think about it.
Yeah, basically what we've been talking about all this time. It's been written that way. They designed certain areas to be destroyed, so the value of everything be down, so other areas can be invested, so they can do what they want to do with the other areas, and we struggle. It's been like this. We've been talking about this for weeks now, but it's basically the same, just a different view of the same situation.
Mellow Man.
For sure. Hip hop, it started out in the park, you know, uh, Bronx. A lot of the I mean, it's a topic that we can debate forever. I was watching D Nice, who is actually from the Bronx, and he's responsible. You see him as a DJ right now, but he actually produced the song "Self Destruction" at the age of 17. And they asked him, like, well, they said hip hop started in a park in Brooklyn somewhere. That one, but I'm from the Bronx, and I'm gonna stand on that. It started in the Bronx, but understanding what hip hop is, DJing, MCing, turntablism, breakdancing, graffiti. That's hip hop. So when it hit the scene, this could have been going on in the '60s. You know what I'm saying? But there's got to be a point where we say like, okay, this is when it hits the country. You know what I mean? Because it could have been going on in LA. You know, graffiti. Break it. I mean, but we got to have a place that we call the birth of hip hop, and for most of us hip hop is it's the Bronx. So yeah, there's when I look back on hip hop, I think about breakdancing, rapping, and chilling. And I wasn't no spin master or nothing. I could do the popping and locking. I couldn't get on my head. I'm too tall, but it's it's here to stay. you know, and we just celebrated 50 years. And that's kind of why, you know, I kind of felt like this should be, you know, a focal point for today.
Absolutely. Well said, brother. Well said. And I think that I agree with you. And we all were affected, I think, positively in the early goings with hip hop, you know, like the music. I remember me and L riding to school and listening to EPMD, listening to, you know, the greats, Eric B. and Rakim, NWA, you know, anything that was fresh to our ears. Fresh was a word that we used a lot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a style of dress. And to add on top of the culture of hip hop, which is the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So people understand hip hop itself. We get it misconstrued in this day and age that it's just music, and it's way further than that. Like Pods just explained, it was turntablism, it was DJing, it was MCing, it was breakdancing, it was graffiti, it was beatboxing. It was all kinds of different art forms. Then it was street language that we practice to this day. We come up with words. We have an urban dictionary now because of hip hop. We have, you know, all kind of different types of things that exist. The street fashion, you know what I'm saying? The fashion in this day and age is derived strictly from hip hop, with the Dapper Dans and people of that nature that played an integral part on that side of, you know, of the culture. UK was responsible for Kangol, you know what I'm saying, which was a very popular fashion statement in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the UK, you know, big shout out to people over in the UK. You know, we got to give y'all flowers too, because you guys played an integral part and still do to this day. And as a matter of fact, when you go overseas, most of the culture of hip hop is embodied in a positive and constructive manner, as opposed to here, where it's been sensationalized by the media and been, a picture has been painted that hip hop is negative, is associated with a negative overtone. And unfortunately, the masses have bought into that, and we believe as a collective, not saying as a whole, but a collective, we believe that this is what hip hop really is all about. It's way more than just the music. It is a lifestyle. It is how you live. KRS-One said it best: rapping is something you do, hip hop is how you live. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to put that into perspective. And I wanted to also, you know, shed light on one year that we were impartial to, fellas, which the year 88. Time to set the record straight. You feel me? This was a very integral part of hip hop's transition. It was considered the golden year of hip hop. It says, man, if you know, you know. 1988 was one of the greatest years in hip hop history. Legends were born, styles were unique, and the culture was at its rawest. We had NWA dropping straight out of Compton, Public Enemy hitting us with It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, which I consider one of the greatest albums of hip hop history, and Big Daddy Kane proving he was long live the Kane. Rakim was spitting knowledge. Slick Rick was storytelling like no other. And EPMD, as we mentioned already, had us all grooving with strictly business. Everybody had their own sound, no copycats, no trends, just pure originality. And there was more people, you know, like we could even, you know, add more people into the West Coast faction. You know what I'm saying? We had Above the Law. We had, you know, all kinds of things coming out of the Ruthless camp, you know what I mean, from 1988. I remember 88 quite well. Like me and L, as I said, you know, we were sophomores going into junior. L drove, you know what I'm saying? And let's just look at the video. You know, I don't want to get too far into it. Let's watch the video though real quick so you guys can get it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? So that way you guys get an idea.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it. It said they were suckers.
I was a fiend before I became a teen. I melted microphones instead of cones or ice cream.
I'm not white or red or black. I'm brown. From the boogie down. Productions, of course. Let me tell you who I am. The B-I-G-E-A-D-D-Y-K-A-N-E. Dramatic, Asiatic, not like many.
I'm the P-E-E-M-D-E-E. And one thing I hate is a biting the seed.
Educated man from the motherland. You see, they call me a star, but that's not what I am.
When you say you love me, it doesn't matter. It goes into my head as just chit chat.
It's funny. I met this girl and she had money in vast abundance.
Save the dope fiends shooting dope. Who don't know the meaning of water on soap? I need bullets.
It's a gold medallion, providing small-time suckers with info. EST's the unusual fella.
Acting fag, you just whack, I kill. They fund my son and run head the bill. Who's out of Compton? Crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang party, niggas with attitudes.
My homeboy got jacked, my mother's on crack. My sister can't work cause her arm show tracks.
Break the door sold out because you love it. Another example of how easy does it.
That we get, no crazier I feel.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so y'all get a perspective of all those hit records that we were exposed to. We were exposed to the forefront of the switch in the culture. It was taking over everywhere, and all of those people like Sir Mix-a-Lot, Seattle, Washington's finest. You know what I'm saying? You had Eazy-E. You had all of these people playing the roles. MC Light, female artist that was just super dope, and we all loved Light. You know what I'm saying? We all loved Roxanne Shante. We all loved these people. You know what I'm saying? And we embraced it because the violence factor in hip hop wasn't even existent. But that's why they consider that the golden year, because everything changed. You know, you had Rakim spitting some of the most amazing text, cadence, and a lot of people didn't even know he was producing the music for Eric B. and Rakim. You know, he's a trained saxophonist. A lot of people don't know that about Rakim either. And so, you know, it was really, really a dope time and a dope era. And just wanted to put that in perspective because people don't know, you know, that this is what we were exposed to. So, fellas, what do you remember about 88 LB?
Well, that's too much to remember about 88. Them were the golden years back then. That's when you used to have fun, have good music. They had messages in the music. You learned a lot of things just with listening to music back then. So I don't know where to begin at with that because it's too much. They ain't like it is now where you just
right.
You just listen to the beat. You ain't got no verse, no message or no nothing. They used to have message for you back in the day. You put them old school music on, you'll learn something just by listening to the music.
Absolutely, you'll understand. Yep, you'll understand something about the culture and how we were exposed to a lot of things. And Loic checking in from Guadeloupe. What's going on, Loic? You already know. Salute. You know our international family is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Steelers Nation said, "I remember all that. Brings me back." But Mellow Man, give us the 88. Set the record straight.
I'm with L. I mean, it's so much stuff. Like I gotta bring it back. 86, 88, right? Is that sweet spot? But 86, 87, that's when NWA came out and Ghetto Boys came out, and them guys, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I was down here at the beginning of 86. I came up to Erie, but I got a chance to grace the stage with Rakim before Paid in Full was complete. He just had a couple songs and he did what he had, and it was magical to hear for the first time live. You know what I'm saying? He said, I got this new song. I want y'all to check it out. And then you hear the whistle. It's mesmerizing, like it chills things in. So that time frame, because me, Scarface, Ice Cube, we're around the same age pretty much. And think about back in 86, they were kids and they were the leaders, the arguably the best groups of all time. You know what I'm saying? So I got to take the 88 back to 86 to put some clarity. You know what I'm saying? Remember that summer of 88, us riding around Erie just bumping. And it was no skips. Let's just play it. Right around and bump it. 17 through the hood, across the way. Let's hit the west side.
Tell him,
Same
Pat.
tape playing. Same tape playing. Gotta love it. And then the lyrics. Because me and Pat had a discussion a couple of days ago about what Eric Sermon was saying about timeless music. You know what I'm saying? So if I said since I was a youth, I smoked weed out. You know what I'm saying? You know what the next line gonna be because it's timeless music as opposed to what we're getting right now. So that's that on that.
Yeah, L, I'm gonna chime in and tell him, man, because bruh, we listened to everything. L had the Tornado. We popped tape after tape after tape in. We was just rocking. I'm talking about even when we were in the park, we would go bring the boom box. We had all that stuff playing, you know what I'm saying? Boogie Down Productions, from Boogie Down Productions all the way down that line of all those different things, Sir Mix-a-Lot, you know what I'm saying? NWA, Easy E, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. And I agree, Podge, from 86 to 89, we might have been the most spoiled because we had the most variety of music. You think Tribe Called Quest, you had all kind of and all of these other dynamics that were coming into play. You know what I'm saying? Even the R&B of that time had a hip hop vibe to it. That's how strong hip hop was. The dress, you know what I'm saying? We was clean then. You know what I'm saying? Like we all had flag, you know, jewelry. We all had, you know what I'm saying, the Kangol and the fisherman hats and all that other great stuff. But man, me and L used to ride around and blast music. That was our thing. We blasted the music. We embodied it. We dressed the way that we dressed the part. We looked the part. We did all of that at that time. And even at that time, I was beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing in hip hop because I'm like Podge. I was pudgy as hell. I was chubby as fuck. I couldn't break dance. You know what I'm saying? I would try to break dance, man. I almost broke my neck. But you know, just to put it all in perspective. Yo, we used to be up there in the projects on Erie Heights, and we go in the garbage bin and find the biggest piece of cardboard we could find, and we use that as our thing. And I would come out there and I would put my boombox down. I had the blasting boombox, and then I would take a set of headphones, and that was my microphone. I plugged it into the mic thing, was beatboxing while the cats was breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? They even had all kind of different types of cultures that you could tap into. The roller skating rink was popular at that time. Everything that we was tapped into at that time. And we had Rascals and Night Shift. And we had those places. Like, we were way too young to get in those spots. But guess what? We would dress up a little bit, older, you know what I'm saying? And they would look past that and they would let us in anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that was a lot of fun. Checking in with the chat. I don't want to get too far down the road. Dismos checking in. Frank Gransman. Good morning. You already know what it is, man. Thank you guys for staying with us and sticking with us. Like, subscribe, share. This is the AM King Show. You know what I'm saying? Dismos said, yo, facts, putting D batteries in the fridge to get a couple more plays on the boom box. Who remembers that part?
I remember that shit. All the
Yeah,
time.
I remember that. Yep.
Doing the boombox in the book bag, get on the bike, ride down the street playing your shit, go to the basketball court and shit.
Basketball court, man, we was playing everything. Yeah. John said, oh, I remember those days. Hell yeah, it didn't matter where we was at. We was playing football, baseball, basketball. It didn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? We was just out there enjoying the music, enjoying the culture. And then we would take breaks, pull out the cardboard, try to break dance the best that we could, beatbox, do all kind of different types of things, man. That was just a magical time. And I feel sorry for y'all that never got a chance to experience that, because hip hop to us is going to always have a significant meaning that is superseding what you see today. This is a derivative of what we experience, a derivative. If you don't know what I mean by that, that means it's a shell. It is a small microcosm of what we experienced at that time. You know what I'm saying? Everything. That's what John said. Everything. Yeah, man. There was too many memories. Thank you, chat, for tapping in and being strong with us on that. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to go double back. P, you mentioned D Nice, and we're gonna bring up D Nice. I found a shorter clip than what you had showed me, but this is gonna put it in perspective about D Nice and the pandemic thing. Real quick before I play this video, talk about D Nice's story. How did he become the world's DJ during the pandemic?
Well, before we get into that, I rest in paradise for hip hop. My guy Chuck Fresh, Jumo Favors. He was in the when the Skinny Boys came. He was in the bathroom with the Human Jock Box. Him and Hot Box going at it. Our guy DJ Mar. You know what I'm saying? Mookie J. Rest in peace to all those guys. I mean, you know, they was family, and you know, it's sad that, you know, they didn't get to experience, you know, hip hop as we. But pandemic, it was a lot of makes and breaks. You know,
I was about to say we got to throw Lord T in there.
Lord T, oh yeah, my God, my God. The villain and his dad, you know, son of a villain, you know, rest well with both of them. Man, the list goes on. I mean, it's deep hip hop, and you know what I mean, a lot of guys. And then, you know, not even we had this discussion about Shelby Zablotny. You know, he's not dead, life. So, you know, it's kind of like being dead, but you know, he found a new life behind bars. I kind of ran into him in Camp Hill, you know, and we were J and K block talking between the fence, and he became a minister, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to that. But situation, the pandemic, we had Tory Lanez jumping off, had D Nice, who really wasn't familiar with going live, but he had a friend that worked for Meta and was like really analyzing his content and said, man, you should go live. You know, there's this new thing on Meta called Live. You should go. And he was like, for what? Like, you know, so he found out that, you know, he went live and he had John Legend with him, and his numbers went from like 300 to like 3,000. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, there is some. So he started telling hip hop stories, you know, and you know, Club Quarantine was born. He made a flyer for it, like we did back in the day for our shows, and it took off from there. You know what I'm saying? So and this is what I want to emphasize for young. I'm saying, like Torrance taking the opportunity, he turned Club Quarantine into a traveling show where people were paying to see it. Matter of fact, last weekend they was in the Apollo. They was in the Apollo with Club Quarantine last weekend. So yeah, roll the clip. Beautiful beam footage.
Okay, before I roll the clip, I just wanted to give a shout out and check in. John said, I remember the first time we heard Rapper's Delight. We all remember that. That was just like the big commercial success hit. That and The Message from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Those are two of the records that I remember that hit mainstream and hit radio. And we realized, oh no, this is not just something that we listen to in the underground. The country is starting to catch on to this thing. And they thought it was going to be a fad when it first started. They thought it was going to die out within 10 years. And lo and behold, it is the most popular music out in the world today. But I also want to give a shout out to Alec Alexander checking in from Cape Town, South Africa this morning. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you the impact that we got going on the AM King show. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. Thank you, Alec. Could be anywhere in the world right now tapping in, but you tapping in with the Kings in the morning, and we appreciate you. Glad to be here with you as well, sir. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to roll this clip, and you guys get a perspective from D Nice's voice.
COVID happens. How does D-Nice become the world's DJ?
You know, I woke up that morning, I went live on IG for the first time because I didn't have anything else to do. I would play like the original sample to South Bronx, and then I would tell the story about being in the studio. Yeah. Then I would play South Bronx, and I just kept seeing these names in there. Then I hit John Legend up, and then I went live with John and his daughter. And then my numbers spiked from like the 300 to it was like 6,000 people. Yeah. And DJ Clark Kent was like, you should actually DJ now. I was like, wow. I didn't even have DJ gear at home. I didn't believe in DJing at home. And then I ran out to Guitar Center, came back home, created a flyer. I'm going live. I treated it like it was a party. Yeah. And that shit changed everything. There's one celeb, nameless, you know, that called and offered me the morning of the 21st. It was like, yo, can you promote this for me? I got $100,000 for you. And I wouldn't do it. I've always been like the side dude to someone. And to have that kind of career since '86 until a moment of March 21st, 2020, where people were literally coming to my IG for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to promote anyone's thing. I didn't want that to become. I did. Yeah, like, so I was very like aware. I was like, and I said this to that person. I was like, bro, this is the first time in my whole career that this is actually for me, man.
Okay. Thank you, D-Nice, for putting that into perspective for us. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop definitely is still alive and well. We want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of hip hop artists that are about the culture. You know what I'm saying? And as you want to turn up in the trap and you want to, shake your ass and this, that, and the third, also tap into some conscious music and balance yourself. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to encourage you to do that here on the AM King Show. Once again, subscribe, like, and share. We are in the building Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the USA. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to all of our international people that are in the chat. You know, we appreciate y'all tremendously. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was just for, our perspective and talking about hip hop this morning. I mean, I've personally been around hip hop of my life. You know what I'm saying? My hip hop journey started well before 86. The first time I seen somebody rap in Erie, fellas, it was probably I want to say in the late 70s, like back around the time when Sky's the Limit Band was one of the biggest things in Erie, you know what I'm saying? And I went to one of these rehearsals and I saw, Kenny Hollis playing the bass, and I saw people, doing things. And I looked up to those guys, the musicians, you know what I mean? From the third grade, you know what I'm saying? I've been playing the trombone since the third grade. You know what I mean? So, putting it into perspective. Also want to tap in with my boy, DJ Rob, checking in. DJ Rob is in the building this morning. Shout out DJ Rob for checking in. Top of the morning to you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Much love. He is an icon and one of the staple DJs, you know what I'm saying? And the Mellow Man and Chili J and TNT, Bob, you know what I'm saying? Lee Smith, want to give you guys y'all flowers. Timmy Mack, you know what I'm saying? The greatest hits of your times and mine. You know what I mean? This is what we grew up on. They created the platform and the soundscape. And y'all have to understand, in Erie, we did not have a full-time black radio station growing up. We had to rely upon Saturdays strictly. And Super Soul Saturday was one of the staples in our community. And that's how we were able to get hip to it. And we have to thank all of the DJs for breaking those records, you know what I'm saying, and embodying that form of it, you know what I'm saying. Dismo said, I love hip hop, but I would have got that 100 racks. Yeah, I understand it, brother. I understand it completely. You already know. $100,000 is definitely a nice little check, if you will. And I don't think any of us would have turned that down. But it is what it is, and D-Nice is D-Nice, and he stands by his principles, and we respect that too as well. You know what I'm saying? But make a long story short, hip hop lives, and we wanted y'all to know that hip hop lives here on the AM show. And we thank y'all for tapping in always. You know what I'm saying? Always and forever in a day. You know what I'm saying? You already know Dismos. Much love to my man Dismos down in the Dominican Republic, West Coast legend. He actually has a history with the West Coast hip hop history because he was a part of Sir Jinx's camp. He was, if y'all don't know who Sir Jinx was the initial producer for Ice Cube when he broke solo and did America's Most Wanted. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Sir Jinx this morning. And also, Dismos is responsible for the song by Eazy-E, one of his last records, which was 24 Hours to Live. Dismos was the ghostwriter for that particular record. So big shout out to Dismos, West Coast legend in the building this morning. Alec Alexander, South Africa's chapping in. Once again, he said, definitely there are a lot of people working hard to push all elements of hip hop, even where I'm from. Although trap music is popular at the moment, if you look for hip hop, you'll find it. And that's exactly what we're talking about here on the AM show. Thank you, Alec, for tapping in and giving us that great intel. We're going to move forward down the timeline. We just got a few more things before out of here. But Pod, you brought this one up, and I'm going to put this in perspective for us here, if I can get up, because our stream is looking a little funky right now, but we're up for the people. There we go. Allen Iverson. We're bringing up Allen Iverson, who absolutely is a hip hop icon himself, because when Allen Iverson hit the league, he embodied the elements of hip hop himself by the way he dressed. He took a lot of scrutiny for how he carried himself out there with this particular movement as well. We're gonna talk about this subject because this is an interesting subject. Allen Iverson grapples with the $32 million paycheck as past financial missteps threaten his once mighty fortune and humble origins haunt his legacy. Go into it. It says Allen Iverson, a basketball icon whose journey from modest beginnings to superstar status now faces significant financial challenges. Despite accumulating a fortune that once seemed unassailable, his current $32 million paycheck is imperiled by earlier financial decisions that have cast a long shadow over his present circumstances. Let's read forward. Let's just go to the section where it says financial setbacks. The athlete's transition from celebrated sports figure to someone confronting serious monetary difficulties is underscored by poignant personal moments. After facing a challenging divorce, Iverson lamented his financial limitations with a remark highlighting the stark reality of his situation. This candid acknowledgement offers a window into the complexities of managing wealth in the face of personal and professional turbulence. A series of missteps and ill-advised financial choices have not only jeopardized the sizable income from his current contract, but also undermined the legacy he built through perseverance and skill. The complexities of wealth in sports. Iverson's experience highlights a broader narrative in the realm of professional sports. Extraordinary earnings do not always secure long-term financial stability. I'll say that again. Extraordinary earnings do not always secure long-term financial stability. And we can go back to other players in the NBA that amassed a lot of money, and in professional sports that amassed a lot of money and then lost it all. Mike Tyson being one. But the high stakes of living a lavish lifestyle, compounded by decisions made early in a lucrative career, can lead to even the most celebrated athletes into precarious financial waters. His situation serves as a reminder that sound financial management is essential for sustaining success beyond the playing field. And we'll leave it at that right there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come back to our to talk about this, you know what I'm saying, and see exactly what we got going on with it. Want to chime in real quick, L, and give us some insight on think about.
I think
Go ahead, L.
you just need better accountants. You need better accountants because basically when you at that level, usually rely on accountants to manage the money and all that stuff for you, and they should be able to tell you when there's red flags and the situations going on with your money that you need to be aware of, so you can make adjustments. And then nobody advising them, and he's in that lifestyle. He just thinking that he got money and everything, that he's in the safe net. Then he finds out everything wrong. Where they counting at? Everything's all on him. So now he got to try to figure out what they done went wrong at, and now it's costing them more money. So yeah, it's really about getting a good accountant and making sure that the accountant is doing what they're doing. Because a lot of times they're undermining your money too, because they figuring you ain't paying attention to it.
Mellow Man.
Absolutely. And to take it, you got to have a good agent. You know what I'm saying? And, shout out to Chris Paul, one of the greatest agents, to leverage $3 billion between all of his clients. And he started with LeBron. And that's one of the great things about LeBron. He put Rich Paul in position to be an agent and earn that type of money. And he really cares about each one of his stars that he's dealing with. And to speak on Allen Iverson, people are saying that he's broke and he's this and that. He had a $32 million trust fund with his, and we're just talking about the Reebok deal. He had to use that trust fund to, through that marriage the divorce they was talking about, he used the trust fund. But he has a lifetime contract with Reebok. They give him $800,000 a year for the rest of his life. Like, no, that's not it. But, and to add to what you were saying about what he brought to hip hop, what he brought to the NBA, he brought the hip hop, the sleeve and the, the headband and all of that. Hip hop was really already in the league since the 70s. Dr. J, he brought super swag to, Wilt Chamberlain. They pulled up in Rolls Royces and all that stuff.
Clyde Frazier with the Pumas.
Yeah, to this day, I got some in the closet. Pull them out. With L, he got his blunt rollers in the closet, Pull out the Pumas. And I want to shout out to my brother real quick. Share this, brother, DJ Rob, a part of LFX Media. Shout out to Streets T Podcast, LFX Media, the Four Horsemen. I'm talking about. Stay tuned for.
Absolutely. We are the Four Horsemen, and we make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And keep it rocking and keep it shocking and jocking. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Great take. Thank you, Mellow Man. You know what I'm saying, for putting that into context. DJ Rob, once again, man, giving you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for all the things that you have done for the city of Erie and for hip hop itself, and what you continue to do with the Rob Radio show. And LFX Media, make sure that you guys are tapping in, because the Mellow Man, he didn't say nothing about it, but this guy used to have a turntable and a tape deck and could do some things that most people. There he is. Look, he's even compacted it down. You know what I'm saying? He's in his D Nice bag real quick. He's in the D Nice bag, man. You already know what it is. Yes, much love to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you already know this is almost the end of the show, so we got to give y'all some humor to start your Monday off right. And this one, I just couldn't pass up, man. This thing was just too funny. You know what I'm saying? Baby, that's Kim Fields. But oh yeah, you're welcome, DJ Rob. You know what I'm saying? You deserve every accolade that you get, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Wall of Fame. My name appears in Wikipedia. The Mellow Man, he's an icon and a staple, as far as LFX Media, the Lake Effect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. History lives through all of us. And big shout out to you, DJ Rob. Much love, brother. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this right here says, when you order Michael Jackson from Temu, when you order Michael Jackson from Temu, this is what you gonna get.
This is my plan, baby. This is my plan, baby.
What is it in China?
I don't know where he at, but the caption said, "Baby, that's Kim Fields."
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Hilarity, hilarity. That is too funny. I don't know. There's these impersonations of these superstars is just, man, they get way out of hand.
Yeah, he had a whole Jason mask on or something and shit. That wasn't no Michael Jackson. Head was all long, forehead was all long and shit. Jerry Curl was wet.
It's like he had a young helmet pasted on his head, man. Just get a look at this guy, man. Get a look at him. Okay, zoom in. Lord have mercy.
Shit.
You said more. Oh, this is crazy work, man. Y'all with the Michael Jackson impersonations and things of that nature. I don't know what's going on, L. I don't know what's going on, Mellow Man.
Not Tootie in the Facts of Life.
No, it look like Tootie and shit. Like Fruity. I don't know about Tootie.
Hey, yo, Alec, crazy work. Alex said, LOL. Everybody want to be the king, dog.
Can't wear the crown.
Hilarious, man. Hilarious work. We got one more for y'all before we get up out of here, man. And this one right here, I just thought was absolutely Wild Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? This is from Shut Up Billy. And of course, you can see the Wild Kingdomness of everything is going on. What is this man doing? I don't know what he's doing, but you know what I'm saying? Shaka Imhotep. You know what I'm saying? Peace to you, brother, from Erie. You already know what it is. Salute, salute. All the E-Town people checking in. Everybody checking in. Alec, I'm going to get with you. Good morning, TK. TK Kingdom. You already know what it is. Shout out to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's the Kings of the AM. Like, subscribe, share. We are the AM Kings Show, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or right here on Facebook and YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Correct. But this right here, I thought was diabolical. And you just got to listen to the voiceover and have some fun with this.
Y'all, Camille. Look at this. Now, what the chicken angel is going on here? Performing in front of Popeyes with wings on is diabolical. What? Oh, now he doing the chicken angel moonwalk. Yeah.
Yo, why is the man in front of Popeyes with some chicken wings on doing the chicken moonwalk? What in the living hell is going on in the world? Our people done lost it. The man kind of looked like, I don't know what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he want to be Prince, but he want to be Chicken Man, but he want to be Mike. I don't know. Confusion, organized confusion. Big shout out to organized confusion. No, this ain't organized confusion, but man, this dude look crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's just worth one more look.
Y'all, Camille. Look at this. Now, what the chicken angel is going on here? Performing in front of Popeyes with wings on is diabolical. What? Oh, now he doing the chicken angel moonwalk.
Shut up, Billy. Big shout out to Shut Up, Billy. That is diabolical. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Some of our folks done lost it. This man is out there doing karaoke, not karaoke. This is a karaoke.
I checked that. I think that was Little Richard Chicken Wing. He should have made the wing, make them some spicy wings. Spicy. Little Richard Chicken Wing.
Got the fruit sauce on the motherfucker and shit. He said, do the chicken walk. He said, do the chicken walk. He started gliding. This shit ain't moving, but his wings fucking with this shit in the air.
Spicy 2-piece.
Yeah. I was going, that was one of buy one get one and shit. What's out there dance, nigga? We need to get one of these motherfuckers sold.
Oh my God, man, that is absolutely diabolical, man. Hey, yo, Alex said the chicken stood that good in the States. He said the chicken is that good.
I want to know what that shit was in.
I wonder where he was too, man.
I'm thinking Detroit. I'm guessing Detroit. There's a lot of weird motherfuckers in Detroit. I'm sorry, Detroit, but y'all some weird motherfuckers. I've been there and I've seen all of them. Y'all some weird motherfuckers. I think that might be there. That might be Detroit. I might not be able to go to Detroit for a minute, but
Hey man, if y'all ain't never seen no video of people snapping out over that chicken sandwich from Popeyes, that's how good the chicken is in the States, or how it makes people get a little crackish. That's what we call it over here in the States, mate. a little bit of crackish things going on with the Popeyes chicken sandwich and Popeyes chicken overall. But man, to be outside of Popeyes doing karaoke with some wings on and a Prince wig. That's just diabolical work.
As Catman do outfit on the shit, prancing back and forth with the motherfucking entrance and shit. That don't make no goddamn sense.
With some salt and pepper Stacey Adams on. Going nuts.
Too bad.
Yeah, I'm busting my stomach up this morning, man. I can't take it, man. I should have did that, but at the same time, I should have. Oh man, that was the funny that we needed for the morning, man. Thank y'all so much for tapping in for my man LP and the Mello PDC. John said, "What chicken angel?"
That's the chicken fairy. You ain't regret you 3 weeks, John.
Oh man, hey man, this is diabolical work. I don't think we'll ever forget that. The chat ain't never gonna forget that one. But yeah, man, this is the AM King Show, man. We about to tap up out of here. This LB, that's the Abbott, the Mellow Man PDC. Y'all know we gonna be back Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, Facebook. Man, we gotta get up out of here on that note, man. Y'all be great today. Y'all have a great Monday. We go. He got his eagle on real quick. See, I gotta get out of here. He got his eagle on real quick. No, he got his chicken wing on real quick. But yeah, we out of here, y'all, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all have a great Monday. We're gonna see y'all on Wednesday with more information. You know what I'm saying? Always stay positive, always stay up. You know what I'm saying? It's the AM Kings Show. We're gonna holler at y'all in a minute.